My name is Carmen and I'm 25 years old. I want to ask you a question. What do you hate the most? Homework? Your ex? Not sure? I used to not know before, but now I'm sure I know what I hate most in the world. This. Why am I sitting in the dark, you ask? I'm ashamed of my own face, or rather, what's left of it. Once upon a time, beauty was the meaning of my life. But your face, arms, and of course skin is all so fragile. I was born into a rich family with loving parents, while others lived with constant arguments between mum and dad and hand-me-down clothes from older brothers and sisters. I could afford the best brands, but my main vice was my beauty blog on Instagram. Millions of people every day watched my makeup lessons and my cute photos. But my life changed when we moved to this city. I still curse myself for deciding to go to a regular local high school. My new classmates greeted me with sullen curiosity. Eventually though, it felt like I was in some sort of zoo. All the boys just stared at me and the girls kept throwing me envious looks. At first, I liked it. Compared to me, all the girls in my class seemed like cheap extras in a tacky movie. A girl called Carol was sat next to me. She seemed like a harmless girl, but never judge a book by its cover. Carol had a crush on a boy named Colin. I didn't see the attraction. He was an idiot, but in that class, he was the heartthrob, the cool guy. Naturally, all the girls loved him, but Colin fell for me on my very first day. He found any excuse to talk with me, showering me with compliments. I wasn't into him, but I flirted back. It was harmless after all, right? Wrong. A few days later, the notes began. I'd find them in my locker, on my desk, and even in my bag once, saying things like, "Get out of here, leave Colin alone, he's mine," and things like that. Truthfully, I didn't take them seriously, but I quickly wish I had. I didn't know who was doing all of this, although I constantly felt a burning stare in the back of my head. I began to think that coming here wasn't a good idea and that maybe I should transfer to a new school. So, on November 16th, I came to school for the last time. I had come in only to get my last few things at the school, but in the school corridor, I ran into Colin, who was smitten with me. He grabbed my hand and said, "I love you, Carmen." He pressed me up against the wall and began to paw at me. I tried to break free and even called out for help, but there was nobody around. Everyone was in class. He forced his lips on mine and kissed me. It was horrible. I managed to push him away, my bag falling out of my hands, but I didn't care. I ran to the toilet and hid there, terrified and shaking. I cried so much that my mascara ran down my face and Colin's horrible kiss had smeared my lipstick. I looked like the Joker. I sat in the toilets for at least 45 minutes before I heard the door open. I looked up and saw Carol. She was holding my bag. She smiled and looked me dead in the eyes with a surprisingly intense look. "You should fix your makeup," she simply stated and left, leaving me alone in the girls' bathroom. I wiped away my tears and opened my makeup bag to follow Carol's advice. My French tone powder, Italian mascara, and American lipstick transformed me back into a supermodel. I wanted to leave this trashy school looking as good as when I had arrived. But as I walked down the school hall towards the exit, my face began to sting slightly. But after a minute, my eyes and lips began to burn strongly, and an unbearable itching appeared on my cheeks and forehead. I started to scream in agony, and people came running out from class to see what was happening. One of the teachers that came out tried comforting me, whilst another took out a bottle of water and tried to wash whatever it was that was burning me off my face. But the pain was too much, and I passed out. From that moment, my life turned into a nightmare. I had suffered extensive chemical burns to my face, with my eyelashes completely burnt off. My skin was peeling, coming off in layers, and what was left was covered in huge purple blisters. I looked like a burnt doll. I had many months of painful rehabilitation. It was awful. The police found the person who had done this to me. It was Carol. She had mixed the contents of my makeup bag, my powder, mascara, and everything else, with chemicals that she had taken from our chemistry class. She hadn't planned on ruining me for life, just to cause me to have an outbreak of acne or something. When my skin began to peel from my face, she realized what she had done. She eventually confessed to the teachers, and our school was full of surveillance cameras, which led to the police catching her easily. I wanted her to get what she deserved. I wanted justice. My life was destroyed. Yet she didn't serve a day in prison. Carol, like me, was a minor. Moreover, her confession to one of our teachers helped her defense, that it had been an accident, that she hadn't meant for my life to be ruined. I had years of painful rehabilitation and plastic surgery ahead of me, and she got off scot-free. I really wanted her to know my pain, to have something awful happen to her too. One day, I received a message on social network. One of my subscribers, my real fan, wanted to know where I went and why there were no new photos on Instagram. I told her everything, and you know what had happened? It's not me, it's Carol. On her next birthday, Carol received a special gift from a secret friend. In a beautiful box, she found a set of luxurious cosmetics. Of course, she was ecstatic with the gift and didn't think much about who could have sent it. She had forgotten about me, about my pain. I think you guess what happened next. Her face was ruined, the culprit never discovered. At first, I was in seventh heaven with happiness. Finally, some justice. Carol had gotten what she deserved, but the pain of others won't stop your own. You can't rejoice at someone else's misery. Do you have people you hate, or people who hate you? Would you like to take revenge on them? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and remember to subscribe to the channel.